All right, I'm thinking of making a food plot. Found an area further back in the ground or back of the land that I was going to use as the food plot. So I'm going to walk on back and just kind of give you the lay of the land. So, all right, let's get on back here. Okay, as you can see, this is pretty darn thick in here. That's why we kept it wooded. But as you can see, I mean, that's some thick stuff. And that's the majority of my land. Just plain thick. And in some places it'll open up. But this is a clear spot I cut out earlier. All right. Let's continue on back. Several years back, I started putting up a fence on the very back to contain the dogs so they could run all through the land, and they probably had about 6 to 8 acres just to run, and it was all like this. So I started to fence off the back of it, and heck, I had so many other chores that I never got a chance to finish it. And to put that fence line up, I literally had to cut out a path first. And this that I'm walking now is part of the path that I cut out by hand. That was before I had any heavier tools to help. A lot of deer come back here. As you can see, pine trees. All on the ground are oak leaves, white oaks, and a lot of other live oaks that I'm not too familiar with what they are, but they produce acorns, and so there's food back here. There's a water source, a little old. You see, I think it's an old creek or swamp that runs to the back of the land, so there's a water source. I used to get a lot of scrapes right around this area. It's all covered up now, but this branch hanging over here, bucks would mark it, and then down here you'd see the scrape almost every year. As you can see, there's the remnants of what was left of one, and a little branch that he stuck his head up on so he could mark it with his glands. All right. So this is part of the fence line I put up in the back, and it probably goes more than 100 yards, I know that, a couple hundred yards. And the post I put up a couple years ago, those carpenter bees, they had their way with it. They bored little holes in it, and then the woodpeckers would come in looking for their young larvae. Okay, free meal to them. Of course, that was treated wood. As you can see, the little holes that those carpenter bees do. And those carpenter bees, I've never heard of them until I got down here. At home, we have a bee that looks like it. A big yellow jacket, black and yellow. And they didn't do this. They look just like these carpenter bees, but these carpenter bees actually bore into the any wood. If it's treated, they won't mess with it at first, and as it starts to dry out, I guess it gets to their liking. All right, down there's one end, and we'll do a little turnaround, and down there goes the other. I've got a tree that fell down on this, and I didn't clear it yet. Got nothing but time, right? But anyway, I'm walking through an area that's thick with pines. Oak trees produce acorns, and plenty of food for deer when they come in. Yeah, this tree came down through the winter, and I mean, it's in sections now. As it went down, it took down some others. It was a pretty sturdy tree, pretty stout. But you can see, I don't know if I can see, you can see that tree back there where it broke off of, but anyway, this has got to come out so that I can clear up this path. I usually keep this path pretty clear so you can ride it with your ATV. But back here is where the as you see now, it'll be on the left hand side over here. This leaning tree here is probably where I'll go in and start clearing. And again, a lot of oak trees and junk trees, I think, pretty much. I'm not too good at telling all the trees. I just know they're wooden. I chop them up for firewood and for folks that want firewood. But we're going to go back in here. Clear this out. I may keep some of the bigger trees, and then a good length in that direction running parallel to this fence line. And so I'll go in that direction. I don't know how wide yet. As I had mentioned, I'll keep the large trees and then start clearing some of this out so I can get started. Sunlight gets in here easily, but it'll be a little better when I take some of this thickness out. So I have to do a little bush hogging in some areas, others chainsaw to take out some of the larger trees and stuff. Okay, and as you can see, here's my fence line. Like I said, I put that in a couple years ago, and I'm going to go parallel to it through all of this stuff here. On the left of this, down there, all of that area down there is usually, it's on the map, it shows Black Swamp. I think that's what it is. Smith's Swamp or something like that. And right now it's kind of, surprisingly, it's dry. or fairly dry compared to sometimes when I come down here. You better be in waders. And I used to let the dogs run down here, and they'd knock up a couple cottontails, as well as jump a couple swamp rabbits. So, and I'm from Pennsylvania. We've never seen anything called a swamp rabbit, but they're very common down here. They kind of look like a cottontail, but totally different. I wish I had two of them, a cottontail and a swamp rabbit, beside one another and show you the difference. But got a lot of names for that swamp rabbit. And but all of this area here, I'm gonna clear out all the little stuff. Anything that's green, I'll leave the big trees, and then try some of that Walkers Outdoors, Mike had mentioned, and Capper, they had mentioned clear it out and get it started. I know there's a few things that I'll have to do, check the soil and things like that, but the work is now just clearing this stuff. It's thick, very thick. Yeah, very thick. Painfully thick. I'm gonna have to have a keg of beer and bring in a couple squads of Marines. Let them have at it. No, I'll do it all myself. Anyway, just wanted to show some of the area. Get on out of here. See if I can get out of here without getting all beaten up. It's heavy with turkeys in this area. A lot of turkeys, deer, as well as black bear, coyotes, gray fox. You don't see too many red fox in this area. They're usually in open fields, the red fox. And there were several families of gray fox that were down in this area. And I didn't like that too much. Them were the coyotes, because they pretty much decimated my rabbit population. So as I see them, I'll take them out. I know my wife, she likes the wildlife as I do, but hey, if they're gonna mess with my livelihood, and that's raising dogs for rabbit hunting. Anything takes out rabbits other than me or my dogs, then sorry, they're competitors. I'll take them out there, buddy. All right, I put this chain up a while back because years ago, ATVers not owning this land used to run it, so I kind of marked off areas. So I have poles going the whole way down one side of my land. It goes down pretty far. And that's probably about, well, from the kennel that you hear behind me to the end of the poles down there, several football fields, and to get back to the end of my land. And I'd come back, and you may notice this pole a little bent. Well, it was. Bears just love to come and bend them down. It's usually the young bears. I won't say it's the males, I really don't know, but it's usually, I'm thinking it's the males. And then they would just have their way at it, you know, start bending everything. I'd lay some corn out. This area right here, and right now it's filled with oak leaves, but boy, it would be cleared out deer would come in there, clear it out in one night. And that was loose corn. It was the whole loose corn. It wasn't on the cob or anything. The stalks were and everything were already gone. Okay, just wanted to show you the area again. So as we look down this path, it will be to the right of this fence, back in this area, and I'll clear all of that thickness out so that I can get in and out with my tractor. So I got a little work ahead of me. Anyway, I just wanted to show you Mike, Walker's Outdoors, what I'm gonna try. It won't be anytime soon because I got a lot of other chores to do, but just thought I'd show you the area. And you said, well, make a film of it or a video so people can see it. I'll do that. It won't be anytime soon. With all the other little things to do. Okay. Thanks for coming down with me, seeing the area. We'll let you see as an update as we go along. Thanks for watching.